Giving my predictions for TNA's Rebellion. I don't know why I shouted then, but I did. Writ them down there. Forgot how many matches there are. My predictions are usually wrong, except for when I'm right and then they're correct. So let's jump straight into it with the very first match, which is, I've already forgot, the Ultimate X match with some wrestlers in there I've never even heard of. Now, I've personally never actually watched a full Ultimate X match, but I understand obviously it's the big red X and the title's going to be hung from the middle of it, which is the X Division title. The champion currently is Moose. Obviously, he's scared of heights, that's brilliant. You're not allowed to use a ladder. You've got to climb across, obviously get the title. This time there's 6 competitors. So I've written them down. Okay, you've got Moose, I know him. Casey Navarro, I think I know him. You've got Matt Cardona, I know who he is. Okay, you've got Leon Slater, I know who he is. That doesn't make sense. You've also got Al Hijo del Vikingo. I don't know who he is, so I'm not going to lie. And then you've got Sidney Akeem. I also don't know who he is, so I'm interested in seeing them two wrestling. But I do think that Moose is going to win. Whether it's the help of the system, or he's just going to go, hey, I'm tall, thanks. I don't think it'll work that way. But, great match. Going to be some brilliant spots in there. I'm looking forward to seeing this match, but I don't see Moose losing unless they want to get Moose to lose without being pinned for the X Division title or something stupid. In that case, I'll probably go with Leon Slater, so he's like a new X Division champion. Or maybe is he the youngest? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I don't know. But ultimately, I'm going to go with Moose. Then we've got the Walk with Elijah Open Challenge. And I've been thinking, who could it be? I personally think it's going to be somebody either returning or from NXT. And just because I've no other reason to think of anything else, I'm going to go for Javon Evans. It makes no sense, but I thought I'll be random, be different. And if I'm right, yay. Then we've got a Falls Count Anywhere match between Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali won the first match, I believe, and then he lost the second one by count out. That's why I believe Mike Santana wants to have the Falls Count Anywhere match. Mustafa Ali is probably going to get some help, but I don't think he's actually going to help. And I do think Mike Santana is actually going to win this one, because with him losing the first one, and then I know he won the second one, but still didn't actually beat him how he wants to. I'm going to go with Mike Santana on this one. So yeah. Oh, the previous one as well. Elijah is going to win whoever he faces, whether I'm right or wrong. Then we've got Fatal Influence with JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix. Write these down as well to make sure I remember them. Rosemary, Zaya Brookside, Lei Yingli. I have no reason as to why I'm thinking this. I'm just going to go with the team we just said, which is Rosemary, Lei Yingli, and Zaya Brookside. See, I'm learning these names. No reason why. Just because it's a TNA pay-per-view and let them beat the NXT people. Yeah. I wish I could give you more, but I don't. Then we've got the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship, which is Ash and Heather by Elegance, who are the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, taking on Metaphor, which Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, taking on Spitfire, Danny Luna and Jody Threat versus Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. If By Elegance was going to lose, it wouldn't be this sort of match. Okay, these sort of matches to me are so someone who's like, you know, big, powerful, great name can lose the title without actually being pinned, like Bron Breakker did at WrestleMania, for example. So I do think they're going to find a way to weasel the way out of this, just so that they can use the excuse of, oh, we're the greatest, we defeated 3 teams. I knew we could do it. So I'm going to go for By Elegance to retain their TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Then we've got the inaugural, is that the right word? That sounds wrong. Anyway, International Champion. So Steve Macklin is the International TNA Champion, or is it the TNA International Champion, whichever way you want to put it, okay, versus Eric Young. I don't see Steve Macklin losing this soon, because if that was the case, why didn't he just lose straight away to Eric Young? Unless it's because they wanted a storyline between Eric and Steve. And obviously Eric saying to Steve this past Thursday, which is today, depending on when you're watching it, about this is the last chance I'm going to help you. Would he win that way? If he wins, he won't be clean. But I'm still going to go, though, with Steve Macklin to retain his TNA International Championship. Then we've got the Hardys. Matt and Jeff Hardy versus the Nemeths, Nick and Ryan. I do think it's time to have new tag team champions, and I can see it being at the hands of Nick and Ryan Nemeth. So I'm going to say Nick and Ryan Nemeth are going to become the new TNA Tag Team Champions. Let's have a title change, yeah. Wish I could give you more, but I can't, so that's what you're getting, sorry. Up next is the TNA Knockouts Championship of Masha Slamovich versus Tessa Blanchard. This is probably stupid, but I can see Tessa winning it. Maybe by disqualification because of Masha Slamovich getting too angry. But I don't know if she wins the title. I do think it's going to be... Yeah, okay, I'll say she's going to win it. But I do think it's going to be disqualification. But you can't win, obviously, by disqualification. So I'm going to say that Tessa's going to win. Then we had the main event of the night. The TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry, taking on NXT's Ethan Page versus Frankie Kazarian, who is the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner. I thought it'd be like the Money in the Bank. It's not. You have to basically announce when you want it in a triple threat. So, I changed my mind a lot on this. Okay, so first of all, I thought if anyone from NXT is going to win the world title, it'll be Ethan Page. Okay, there's 4 out of 5 people who have called their shot and won, so I thought maybe they want to keep their the record up there somewhere with Frankie Kazarian winning, taking it to 5 out of 6. But with Joe Hendry going to NXT, saying he wants a word with Obafemi, why would he lose? Or are they planning on making him lose so that he can go to NXT and win that title? Probably not. So what we're saying is I've changed my mind like 100 times. Not that many, but yeah. So even though Joe Hendry can go on to WrestleMania without a shoulder injury, then turn back up into TNA with a shoulder injury, the doctor's telling me he shouldn't wrestle at Rebellion, but he also has a match at WrestleMania and in a tag team match on TNA. Make it make sense. So, if Ethan Page wins, it wouldn't surprise me because he'd be a great NXT choice. Frankie Kazarian, if he wins, wouldn't surprise me because obviously the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winners in the past. If Masha Slamovich retains, okay, I can see there being a new TNA champion. I'm going to go for Ethan Page. But because I've gone for Tessa Blanchard, I'm going to go for Joe Hendry to retain and overcome the odds. Anyway, those are my predictions. Let me know your predictions. Tell me if I've missed anything, if you think it's stupid. Like the open challenge with Elijah. Who do you think it's going to be? Maybe it's Ezekiel. Could be anyone. Maybe it's his other brother, LA Knight. Yeah. But anyway, please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.